are shit. Quite frankly, we are absolutely dog shit. And I'm going to bring in Amy and Neil. I ain't even going to try and sugarcoat it anymore.
I was starting to wonder if you were alive or not. The language, Martin.
Fuck it. It'd be a lot stronger in the ground, I tell you that much. I don't know where to take this halftime show because we've had equal parts good and equal parts rubbish.
Has it?
We've played some good stuff at times. We have, but the fundamental difference, apart from them scoring goals, evidently, is that their striker, despite playing a one up top, isn't alone. He has people around him. I think I've been closer to James Norwood in this first half than most of our team have, and I'm sat in Stonemarket. Like, we're not getting bodies around the striker. James Norwood is cutting a very isolated figure.
Even one of our better players in Bennett, he got the ball out on the left towards the end there, and he sort of dilly-dallied with it and then put a cross in. Why did he not drive towards the box and give the defenders something to think about?
Yeah. It was a terrible start, right? So if we just... that's a great point. We'll come back to that. It's a terrible start. We didn't start the way you should start in big games. They flew out of the traps. We were slow. Question marks over defending, the goalkeeper, near post. Then we grew into the game ever so slightly. But we're talking about fundamental mistakes, aren't we? Look, it doesn't matter who the manager is, quite frankly. No manager is going to ask Emir Hughes to run around in circles and not pass the ball to a blue shirt, or Alan Judge, or for the pair of them to be so far apart. One's in Antarctica, the other's in Australia. Is it? Are they? That's not managerial stuff, Amy. That's, again, as we said at the start of the show, players not taking responsibility.
I think, one of my three must-haves for this game was that they came out of this, that they stay calm and in control. And aside from the goals we've looked like a nice, competent side for this league. The problem is that doesn't win you games, and being able to defend, but more importantly, being able to score is what wins you games. So I totally get where you're coming from, Martin, and I think you're right that they've gone on and done what he's asked them to do in terms of staying calm, and they maybe haven't done enough. No arguments there. The problem is he set us up with one bloody striker up front.
And we keep
there is no other answer to this problem that we have at the moment. Then there should be two of them out there on the pitch.
Oh no! In a minute you'll get some Twitter Pep Guardiola tell you it's 4-3-3, Amy. It's 4-3-3 because it says on a bit of paper it's 4-3-3, but it's not. You're right.
Mine. You know what we wanted from Judge that half?
Yeah.
We didn't get it.
Didn't get anything. And
I like the ball that he gave away, where the commentators said it was meant for McGavin, maybe, and it couldn't have been any further away from him, as if you'd say that was meant for him. Why did he turn back anyway? Why did he just drive, attack? Why so negative all the time? Why do we have to look for the only man that's on the halfway line? And then he then goes, oh, let's go back to the goalie. Why?
Exactly. You're not, yeah.
It's gone, oh, look, we've got a couple of extra notches in the possession percentage. Well done, boys.
The issue is I'm looking at it, and with the exception of maybe going 4-4-2, I don't know really if any, I mean, Glenn Driver's in the chat, and maybe he can tell us, if any of the manager really looking at the squad would pick any different. We're talking about a player issue here, really, because maybe if you took Hughes out just to pluck a name and put Jackson up front, you might get a little bit better or a bit more threat. But he's still talking about Alan Judge not performing. He's still talking about players that who. It's not, I was getting some birthday cake, and I thought to myself, these are our most senior players. Probably, if you looked at the wage bill towards the top end of the wage bill, and they're the players that are just not performing. They're the players that are not being international class. Brett McGavin has looked okay in that first half. Keenan Bennett has been our best player, without a shadow of a doubt. When he's on the ball, things happen. If you're at Portman Road, it's that proverbial, your bum's off the seat because you're thinking, here we go.
You'd still say Norwood isn't fit, and even he looked more lively than a lot of the others.
Yeah.
I felt so sorry for the guy. He's cutting such a lonely figure up there. Like, there's nobody within 15 yards of the bloke.
Is it a build-up problem? Is it our midfield isn't quite up to it? Why are we not able to get men possession higher up the pitch and men around Norwood?
Because look at your midfield three, Neil. If I tell you Brett McGavin, Emmy Hughes, Alan Judge, what's the one thing you can tell me the three of them definitely haven't got? Pace. So when the transition play goes from back to front, and their job is now to go from back to front in a matter of seconds, they ain't going to get nowhere near him.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say really that Hull are driven with the ball and they've looked good, but they've got lucky where passes have just been like the last one. That was just a lump in, and it somehow made it for our whole team to the striker that put it away.
I know Amy won't like this, but this was your classic Luke Chambers switched off at the wrong time yet again.
To be fair, that's the sort of thing I would get caught out by, because
but
you'd
you're
be
not
thinking,
a professional player.
I know,
rare as well. To be fair to him,
why has it made it to him? I would look around and go, there are several other players in front of me that haven't done something in which meant that it's unfolded in the way it did.
No. But
yeah, okay, fine. You can look at yourself and go, I should have done better then. But there's other men on the field that aren't as doing the same thing.
No, you're right. And we have looked more vulnerable down our left side since McGuinness has come into the team. Like, start of the season, Ward was one of our better players. We're thinking fantastic signing.
Yeah.
Then we've played with the back four. And since then, like, again, first goal down our left side. That ball has come from left to right. We're looking a bit weak in certain areas that we weren't at the start of the season. Now, obviously, Amy, we're so easy to play against, right? Because we mentioned pace there. If you close McGavin down and force the ball to go long, you're playing McCarthy percentages, and we're not going to win those battles, are we? 50-50s with only one up top.
No, agreed. Absolutely. If you have I'm going to come back to what I said before. If you're having a game against possession, then we're pretty capable of that. The problem is we're not doing anything with the possession. Rich from the Blue Monday podcast shared a heat map from Saturday's game, and almost all our passes were in our half. There was none of our players is in their opposition half, and that is the problem. And going back to what you were saying before, it's our midfield three. If you're going to play Knowles up front, if you're going to play Jackson up front, even Ollie Hawkins, you need to make sure you're getting, especially James Norwood, you need those beautiful crosses right to his feet. And you should be getting it out of Judge. I thought we should be. But you're not going to get it out of them. You're going to get it out of your Downs, and you're going to get it out of your Bishop. Unfortunately, we don't have them.
No, go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, we haven't got like another backup replacement. If we were thinking we might lose Downs over the summer, should we not have got somebody else in who plays like him? And then we've got a backup for when he's injured. Do you know what I mean?
But then you're seeing this across the Facebook and across the chat box. You're seeing Bishop, Downs, Dozell being brilliant, as you just said there. Are we not missing?
Where is Dozell?
His last game suspension today, I think. We're getting a number of, are we not missing our best three midfielders? But look, I'm big on making mug cakes, right? I love making mug cakes. It's my thing. If I wanted to make a vanilla mug cake, but I didn't have the vanilla essence, I can't make a vanilla cake. If you haven't got the midfield, you find a formation that plays to your strengths. And at the moment, your strengths are what? Bennett, Lancaster, Norwood, Jackson. It isn't forcing Judge, Hughes and McGavin as a midfield three. It just isn't.
If you had both Dozell and McGavin in the same midfield, where are you playing Dozell?
Well, I think you play them side by side, and then you play somebody ahead of them. Maybe a Downs who's got a little bit more oomph in terms of getting up towards a lone striker. But that's the conversation.
So would you go away from the deep midfielder and go more, you are the midfield now?
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, like we're talking about players that aren't here and aren't available to us today. And Paul Lambert should have a plan for every eventuality. It shouldn't be I haven't got these three, so we'll force something, Amy. Square pegs, round holes. It should be, looking at your list of players on your piece of paper and thinking, right, how do I get the best tune out of this?
Question for you. When you're making one of your mud cakes, you go to the supermarket, your mud cake, sorry.
Not mud.
That's what my son makes in the garden. When you're making one of your mug cakes, you go to the supermarket, you come back and you realise you've forgotten the vanilla essence. Do you blame the other ingredients for not being able to make the mug cake, or do you blame yourself for not getting the ingredients you needed to make the mug cake?
Well, like any good scapegoat, I blame Alan Judge.
It's Alan Judge's fault you ain't got your mug cake.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Sorry.
But you get
my point. I've never had a team of so many scapegoats.
I know.
We have a lot, haven't we, at the moment? So far this call, we've had Chambers, who has literally put 1 foot wrong.
It cost us a goal!
Surely a player can't be a scapegoat when there's so many of them. Surely it goes past that and they're just not good enough.
I love that. That's a very good point.
I mean, Josh Emmanuel is looking like the world's best right back to ever grace Portman Road. I mean, he's so good. I'm thinking this guy would cost millions to buy. And I've seen him play at Portman Road many times in a blue shirt and thought, I'm not too sure on him. But Sears
so what has gone wrong with us then? That means that players like him can leave the club and play well. But as soon as they're here in our team,
I think
we never saw any of that, did we?
No, I think today. Look, I've been probably, I'm one of Paul Lambert's last defenders, but today it's not right. Today he has not done his job so far as the manager. It has not been an effective formation, an effective personnel. Freddie Sears wasn't causing Josh Emmanuel any type of headache, and he could play 1,000 minutes. He still wouldn't have. Jack Lancaster now may. Keenan Bennett certainly would. Emmanuel's a big centre half playing at right back. You need trickery. You need a bit of pace to get around him. I mean, Luke Chambers is a great servant, but he made Cameron Stewart's career one afternoon at Leeds United because Cameron Stewart had pace and trickery and direct, and he could get round him. I think you play Emmanuel the same way. So what do you want to see in this second half as the teams come out? What do you want to see very quickly?
What we asked for in the first half?
Will we win?
No.
All right. Well, we're back at full time to have your say on the show, including our own. So join us at full time. We'll see you all at full time.